Yeah, what's up, Coach? With Darrington Evans and trying to get him in those third down situations, especially like blitz pickup and things like that. How are you able to get a judge on whether or not he's going to be able to protect that investment in Ryan Tannehill?
Well, just by the opportunities and the situations you script and practice, and you try to put them as many situations as you can in a practice setting to get them ready to play. That's the only thing we can do is simulate the best we can out of practice.
And then with Isaiah Wilson, how is he coming along as far as just getting the scheme and executing the blocks that you require him to do?
I mean, he's coming along like most rookies do. They're all at their own pace. That's why you don't compare them to anybody else. There's a multiple variables on guys when they're coming along. So just he's been a pretty typical rookie.
Luke?
Hey, Coach, appreciate your time. Curious as to what you see as the challenges when you bring in a veteran backup a week into what's already a short training camp. How do you get him to where he needs to be in terms of knowledge of the playbook, and how quickly is it possible to do that?
It just depends on the guy. I mean, Trevor's been in a few systems. He's got some familiarity with what we're trying to do here. And so he understands how the profession works and what it takes to play the position. So when he comes in here, I mean, he is drinking from a fire hose, so to speak. We catch him up on the installs, and then he's got his plays in practice, and you prepare him as quick as we can. I mean, these are the things that happen sometimes. I know in 2014, and we were getting late in the season, and we had multiple guys that come in, on a Thursday night game. I mean, so you have to adjust in this league.
Was there something specific that you all saw that led to releasing Cole McDonald just a week into camp? Was there one particular concern or anything like that?
Oh, I don't think it's one particular concern. It's just, Cole's a great kid who's got talent, and he was working hard to change his throwing motion. And, he's coming from a very foreign offense. But Trevor gives us a good opportunity to create some competition for the backup role between him and Logan.
Jim?
Arthur, what have you seen maybe from not counting the top three, maybe top four, Khalif, Adam, AJ, and Corey? What have you seen from maybe that group behind them as they compete to try to stick?
Yeah, they all have got different skill sets, and they all bring something to the table. There's great competition in there. Those guys, Cam and Cody, Rashard, I mean, those guys, they've all played, and they're all fighting. There's great competition with Khalif. I mean, all those guys.
And one more from me. I know today you worked with a lot of the young guys. How much does a day like that help, and what do you look for in a day like that?
Yeah, it really helps, especially when you have those call-up periods. It's the best you can simulate to put them in some stressful situations that you may not get because of the preseason games. So you're trying to make it as real as possible, where they got to hear the call and get lined up and rescue themselves out there.
Gentry?
Yeah, hey, Arthur. Mike called Corey Davis the best blocking wide receiver you guys have, and I wanted to ask how uniquely valuable that skill would obviously be for any team, but especially for your team.
Yeah, it's something that those guys take a lot of pride in. I mean, we feel that's a big part of our culture, and those guys all are willing. And Corey does a great job, and AJ, I mean, all those guys, they'll get in the mix. And so it definitely adds value, especially to some of the stuff we do on first and second down.
If there's anything, you would want to see out of Corey or what the next level might look like for him, what improvements would you like to see there?
Like all those guys, they all focus on things to work on. And, none of those guys, you can't have the mindset that you've ever arrived. And daily we're looking to improve, just as I'm looking to improve as a coach. And so these guys all focus on stuff, and he's done a nice job since he's come back. He continues to work on his craft, and that's all you can ask for.
I got a bunch of questions lined up, so if you could ask your best one, we're going to run out of time in a hurry. So, John?
Hey, Arthur. I wonder if you could talk a little about when it comes to catching a deep pass, what are the most difficult things that are involved in catching a deep pass? Who are some of the better guys you've seen, and how does Khalif Raymond stack up there?
Yeah, I mean, it's a challenge down the field, and some guys are able to track the ball. I mean, just because you separate, it's still you got to go out there and execute the catch and be able to track the ball, and it's going to be different every time depending on the coverage when you're pushing the ball down that far. And I just don't like to get in comparison. But Khalif's got a good skill set. He works on it. And he's come up big in the past. So he's putting in the work. He's continuing to try to improve as well.
Paul?
You could skip me. Thanks, Art.
No problem.
Eric?
Hey, Arthur. We saw Kari Blossomgame getting a lot of carries out there today. Last year we knew him as more of a blocker. I'm just curious what you like about that part of his game, and is his versatility something that sticks out about him?
Absolutely. I mean, we try to pride ourselves on guys that can play multiple roles. Versatility is huge for us. If a guy can do multiple things, you're limited, as you guys know, on game day. And if you get injuries, you can get thin at certain spots. So it's definitely valuable. The more a guy can do in a role, in different roles on game day, the better it is for us.
Buck?
Eric literally just took my question. Sorry, Coach. I got to pass.
Steve?
Hey, Art, thanks for doing this again. Last year when the offense really got rolling, you only had a couple of weeks really before Adam Humphries went down with his injury. Having him back fully healthy this year, what does that add to what you can do offensively?
He's another receiver. He's got a good skill set. He's got a knack for getting open. I think him being in our culture for a second season helps. I think he understands expectations and where everybody fits in now. So I'm excited about Adam and really all those guys.
Chris Harris?
Hey, Art, when we were talking to Trevor yesterday, he mentioned that some of the playbook philosophy he had at one point in Denver was kind of similar to the applications that you guys have here. How do you think that has maybe helped him get up to speed a little quicker? And then also, how can a day like today where Ryan's not on the field so we can get more reps help with that?
It certainly helps if you just have recall. I mean, you may not call things the exact same, but there's quicker recall. He's got a base. All right, I've run something similar to this in the past. Okay, we called it here in Denver, and it just helps his learning. It speeds up the learning process and what we're trying to get accomplished, and that's the advantage you have as a veteran and a guy that's played in multiple systems. And then for today, same thing with the rookies. It just allows them to go out there and operate, get the call in the huddle, command the huddle, get them lined up, and get us into the right play and handle all of our operation.
Kyle?
Yeah, for a guy like Logan, the reality changed pretty quick. You go from competing with a seventh round rookie for that number 2 job to a veteran and a guy that's played in this league. Since that move, have you noticed anything change about him? Sharper focus or greater intensity or had any conversations with him about that move? Sure.
He understands that's what we want. We want competition. We want to make sure the best man's going to be in position to be the backup. So, no, I mean, Logan does a great job preparing day in and day out. He grinds through it. There's nothing that's going to change him. I mean, he understands what the job entails and what the competition is for.
Terry?
Art, what's you think are the biggest couple of things in the development of Jonnu Smith as a pass receiver, especially the last year or two?
A lot of it is experience. Speaking of comparisons, I mean, that was when I used to kind of roll my eyes about when somebody used to compare him to Delaney, and they're two completely different players. They have different skill sets coming out of college. I think on the surface it was an easy narrative that couldn't have been further from the truth. And that's a hard position to play and what we demand out of that position. So experience certainly helps. And those reps, you get game reps to something you do over and over again.
Joe?
Hey, actually, another question for you, Arthur, about Logan. He's got some experience facing long odds. I mean, how much do you think that serves him now and even has kind of helped him get to where he is at this point?
Well, everybody's got a different story and what's got him to this point. he's a very determined guy. He works extremely hard to preparing, and that's what I really appreciate about him. I mean, he's consumed by it, and so again, I think, and I don't want to speak for Logan, but he certainly embraced the opportunity to go try to compete and to win a backup spot.